Right, okay, in today's video, I'm going to talk about our Pokemon TCG business, our trading card business. I'm going to talk about the products that we buy, the different TCGs, why we buy them, what our strategy is, and how we approach selling each product. Now, obviously, I'm going to talk about Pokemon, but I'm going to talk about other TCGs. And if you're only interested in Pokemon, I do recommend you stick around for the other stuff because I think it's interesting. And let me know in the comments how you think we should go about it, if you think we're doing the right thing, any TCGs you think we should buy, shouldn't buy, this and that. So starting off, we've got English Pokemon. The easiest stuff to sell in the country at the minute. Literally anyone could sell this stuff. It goes without saying how ridiculous it is. It is absolutely crazy. So when we get an invoice in from distribution with Pokemon, we pay it up, we get the product, and I like to sell it straight away. Now, a lot of this stuff, like even on release, Ascended Heroes, ETBs came out, and I knew that in a few months they were going to be higher, this and that, but I just wanted to get them in and sell them. I'm not interested in really sitting on the product or anything like that. We make nice margins, nice profits off the products when we receive it. So I'm happy just to get the money in and put it into kind of other stuff like singles and slabs and to use at card shows and all that good stuff. Now, I think if we was a bigger business and had more capital, and I know some bigger businesses do this, they'll shelve some stuff like Sword and Shield booster boxes and maybe Prismatic Evolutions now that it's getting towards the end of its print run, and like 151 and all that stuff. They can afford to shelf it, wait 3 to 5 to 6 months, maybe a year, and then sell it on because it's not rocket science. Everyone knows now Pokemon English sealed products goes up with time. But for us, I'd rather just get it in and move it on. Now, just touching on the reprints and all that kind of stuff, nobody knows what they're going to reprint at what time and how much they're going to do. So all this talk about, well, I think this will go up in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Yes, there's a good chance English stuff will go up and maybe you could sit on it for a bit, but I'm just happy taking the profits because at the end of the day, no one knows what they're going to reprint. Only Pokemon know. And even if they do a big reprint, I'm aware that it probably won't make a big dent in the market. But I'd rather just play my cards where you get the product, you can make the money straight away. We can sell it through the mailing list for a nicer price for people and put it into other stuff. So that's English sealed Pokemon product, the literal easiest thing to sell in the world. It's been flying on the website. We don't have much English sealed product left. We've just got bits and bobs of everything. I add it to the website, or we add it to the website in 2s and 3s. The reason for that is I don't want one person to buy everything. Because we list at the lower end of market, sometimes the discount codes and stuff like that, I want to satisfy as many customers as possible for a few reasons. The first of all, for business, obviously it's better to get as many customers as possible. Secondly, I want the product to be shared around. We're obviously more than aware of how hard it is to get hold of this stuff. So the more people that can get hold of it, the better. And I know it's expensive and I know it's crazy, but I mean, where we're even at with this stuff now, it's absolutely mental. It really is. So that's Pokemon sealed, and yeah, we'll move on. I just want to quickly say, I know that strategy sounds mad about adding the products in dribs and drabs because sometimes it says stuff's out of stock on the website and it's not. It sounds like a crazy strategy, and trust me, I wish we didn't have to do that. I really do. I wish things were just normal. Back in the day, we'd been doing this for 3 years. I used to sell Pokemon packs for 20, 30, 40p profit margins and just buy it in, buy it in, buy it in. I preferred them days and I wish it was still the same. But it's not. This is the situation. You may not believe me and think, no, you'd rather make more money off each product. Trust me, that is not true. I would rather go back to before where you could get as much supply as you could. It was all about putting the hours in, putting the graft in, doing all your marketing. And yeah, it's obviously different now. But I know it sounds mad and it might be frustrating if you visit the website and stuff's not always listed. But it's just how we run things at the minute. If you ever want to shoot us a message to see if we've got anything in stock, I will reply as soon as possible. Instagram's the best place for that, or send it through Shopify, through the website. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, just wanted to make that point. Moving on, we have got One Piece. Now, One Piece is a weird one. I've mentioned this in can't be asked to record it again. I mentioned this in a video before. So basically, 18 months ago, I bought loads of One Piece at the market rate at the time. So we bought like OPO5 for 150 a box and all this. Then there was a massive reprint and all the prices dropped. And I was like, shit, we didn't have very much money at the time. It was even smaller business than we are now. And we sold a few of the boxes that I lost, this and that. Anyways, massive One Piece boom happened, and obviously we ended up selling some boxes at a really nice profit. However, most of them we either broke even or like slightly lost on. One Piece though, I'm so glad obviously we continue to buy it. We continue to order it from distribution, even when it was moving slowly. And now luckily we still do get hold of a case of booster boxes. We got some double packs for the first time the other week. Now obviously these are the same as Pokemon, some of the hottest stuff about. Everyone's going mad for One Piece. I can't see that changing, and obviously I am a believer as well that in the long term these boxes will perform well and it's going to kind of go a bit crazy. I do think that will happen. But in terms of business, again, I'd like to get them in and sell them. So as soon as we have card shows, we take a few with us, we get them all listed on the website. Again, we add them in 1s and 2s, and they're at the lower end of eBay solds on the website. And yeah, One Piece, great seller. Again, we've not got much of it. We've got like a handful of booster boxes left. They're just such good sellers, and we sell them as individual packs at card shows and all that good stuff. But again, just another thing that I like to get in and move on, because we make nice money on it. I don't see any reason to sit around, and yeah, that's One Piece. Again, if we had the capital, and I know a lot of big sellers do this, big businesses, big websites, they buy in products such as this, and they'll probably put them on a back shelf and forget about them for 18 months because they believe in the products. Maybe if a set's going out of print or whatever with Pokemon and One Piece. But we can't do that, so I'd rather just get the money and kind of move on. And yeah, that's the One Piece review and our little strategy. Get it in, sell it. Right, now Disney Lorcana. This could be the weirdest of the lot. Lorcana is a pretty popular TCG, and I know a lot of people who love Lorcana. I say a lot, and a decent handful of people who love Lorcana. When we go to card shows, it sells real well by the booster box. We're pretty cheap for Lorcana. Like, so our prices for Lorcana are some of the cheapest online that you will see. However, we never sell any through the website. I've put it in rip and ships before, never literally sold a pack in a rip and ship out of countless hours of it being in there. Like the cheapest packs, and we just don't sell it. That's probably a good thing, because it's nice to see that people are maybe loyal to where they buy from for the Lorcana, and that's completely fair dues. But I continue to buy it. Now, the reason for this is, I've just spoke about with One Piece. There was a time when we was buying One Piece and it wasn't going very well. It was kind of breaking even, taking a loss. But I massively believe in trading cards. I'm not a personal fan of Lorcana, but I know there's some nice cards. Obviously, Disney is a huge IP. And it would not surprise me if one day, I'm not trying to say that it's going to go crazy like Pokemon or One Piece. However, if it starts to perform well and move nicely for us on the website, I wouldn't be very surprised at a certain point. So this kind of product, I buy it in, and the booster boxes, I don't buy loads and loads, but I buy like a couple of cases of each set, and they kind of sit there at card shows. They sell well, and I'm kind of just binding my time with Lorcana, and I believe in collectibles massively. I believe in trading card games, and I think it's all brilliant, and there's so many good things about it all. So I back these products to do well, to perform. I'm no what's the word? I always do this, I don't know what word to say. I'm no expert in this kind of stuff, but I just believe in it. So we'll see. Lorcana, it's on our website if you're interested. This is one of the latest sets, Whispers in the Well. We're the cheapest price online, not sold a box. Recent sales on eBay for these going for like 105, 110. I'm pretty sure we're listed at like 85 quid. No, actually, that's a lie, actually. I think we're at 100 quid for a box, but we're still the cheapest. All our other boxes like 80 to 85 pound. But yeah, that's Lorcana, and hopefully one day I will come back and talk about how this is performing really well. I truly believe it will. It's just all a bit of a waiting game. You've got to be patient in this business, in this industry. And you might think, well, you could put that money into Pokemon, but I think if we can get some Lorcana customers and this stuff performs well in the future and Lorcana's more readily available than Pokemon, it's good to diversify. As great as Pokemon is, as great as One Piece is, I do like diversifying with the products. And, excuse me, they do sell at card shows, as I've mentioned, single packs and booster boxes. So yeah, it's not all dead in the water, and Lorcana, fingers crossed one day will do well for us, and I do believe in it. We shall see. Now moving on to Riftbound TCG. Now this is a massively interesting one, and I'm going to explain why. So for Riftbound, for set 1 Origins, I missed the pre-order. I ended up getting it in a back order a few months down the line, and set 2 I got in on pre-order. So now we got 4 cases of Riftbound set 2, which is 24 booster boxes, which is a super nice allocation. So spoke to Isaac, we had a conversation. I was like, look, we've got a nice inventory. I seen the boxes pre-selling for like 140 on eBay, and then on release day they were selling for 130, 135. I was like, look, we've got a nice allocation. Let's list it at 115, which is below retail for a box. Let's try and get some Riftbound customers in, and if we continue to get good allocations, you know, we can still make nice profits per box. We're pretty much at retail price. We're not primarily Riftbound, but if we can keep getting nice allocations, we're going to make nice profit in bulk. However, this leads me on to an interesting point of why people have asked me in the past about when all this came about with Pokemon going crazy and the prices going mad, and people said like, why it's selling at retail and all this kind of stuff. It's because things can change and you do not know what's going to happen. So with Pokemon, we get a case of booster boxes, case of ETBs, yada yada. I've said this many a times, and we sell it for pretty much the market price to profit as much as we can off them items, more or less, because we know we can't get any more at distribution price. So with Riftbound, the perfect example, we played perhaps the wrong card. We sold them at 115, and then I got my allocation for this set. Is this set free? I believe it is, Unleashed. And we got a case, we got a single case, which means that now, obviously, we're going to probably put these at the market price, and it is what it is. Like, it's a shame, but I believe it's because Riftbound, they want to prioritise like play stores and stores that are running the TCG like events, which is more than fair dues. I get that, to push the player base and the TCG completely makes sense, but it just shows that at any point, in the back of my mind, we could lose our Pokemon distribution at any point. Our suppliers could say, sorry, you don't make the cut anymore, which a couple of suppliers have said to us previously. You now don't hit the standards or the orders and the rate of orders per month for us to get your Pokemon, so we're dropping your distribution. That could happen at any time, which is just one of the reasons why a lot of businesses such as ourselves, we do still sell the stuff at retail, because you just never know when things are going to change. So yeah, unfortunately we only got one set of this. We've got 6 boxes. It'll be primarily sold as individual packs, but it's sold really well. Riftbound's done great. We got some set 1 Origins on back order, sells brilliant. Set 2 sold great. We're pretty much sold out of that, and obviously now we've got set 3, so another one that hopefully will perform well, continue to perform well. I hear it's popular, and yeah, happy days. Right, I believe this is the last thing I'm going to talk about, which is Japanese or foreign Pokemon cards. Now, I do not order Japanese products on release because they're extremely volatile. The prices are inflated, even more so now that Japanese has had a recent boom, another boom again. I kind of wait a couple of weeks, let the dust settle, let the prices drop a bit, and then I'll go into the market for Japanese booster boxes. I do not spend loads either, not at all. I buy like a handful of each set, and it sells really nice at card shows. We sell it for £2.50, £3 a pack, £3.50 a pack, dependent on the set, and it moves really nice as individual packs. We also sell booster boxes at the card shows. However, when it comes to the website, the Japanese stuff doesn't move as well. I think a lot of people buy from Japan to UK, and there's other websites who specialise, or businesses that specialise in the foreign TCGs, and the people like to go there, and that's honestly absolutely fine. That's what they specialise in. We still like to buy it. Obviously, it's a good alternative option to Pokemon. 99% of the time, it's cheaper. People still love it. The cards arguably look better. I would say they look better, even though I do not really collect Japanese, more English stuff. And it's just a good option to have. So yeah, Japanese, I need to order again this week. We're running pretty low. We're running low on all sealed stuff, as I say every week. We're not swimming in it whatsoever. We've just got a few items of each product, and as I've mentioned, the website's performing the best it ever has, doing multiple orders every single day, which is great. If you have been ordering, thank you, I appreciate it. And also, if you're watching this video still, I appreciate that as well. So yeah, Japanese booster boxes, that's them. Right, and last but not least, how can I not mention the Sunny Angels? These have been absolutely flying. I'm ordering from Japan this week. I'm going to order some more. These have honestly been literally flying. We've been selling them on Vinted. My missus has been selling them on Vinted for us, and honestly, they have been literally flying out. We sold like 14 in 48 hours, which, considering we've only had them a few weeks, and they've only been on Vinted about a week, we're doing real well with them. So I'm going to buy some more. They haven't sold on the website yet. They are a bit of a niche product, but they're also super popular. Lassies seem to love these. They're a little collectible, like a naked baby, don't even ask. Not for me personally, but they are very popular, and I can see these becoming increasingly popular in the UK. And again, just talking about diversifying into this stuff, they're not cheap to buy in. And again, you could put that money into Pokemon, you could put it into more One Piece and pay like more wholesale prices, say like 90% of market, 95%. But I'd rather diversify into this stuff that we can get on tap. And who knows what will happen to things like this going forward. If we can frequently sell this stuff through the website and people are coming to us to buy it, again, we're cheaper than like Forbidden Planet and all them sort of shops. Who knows? We might be selling 20, 30, 40 of these a day, and then it's happy days, isn't it, really? So, buzzing with it. Honestly, I'm so happy about these. I can't even tell you. I love it when I make a decision and it goes swimmingly, which most decisions I've made for this business honestly have. Like, sometimes you buy something, it don't work at first. You bide your time, and that's where I touch back onto the Lorcana. You bide your time, you be patient. Don't shit your pants and drop your ass. You just be patient and don't make crazy decisions and pump loads of money into something. Just try your 5-10% and see how it goes. We've tried with these, it's worked so far, so yeah, we'll get some more of these little bad boys. Last thing I want to touch upon, and I genuinely forgot we even had it. We've got a few booster boxes of Star Wars Unlimited. I don't even think I can give this stuff away for free at the minute. It just doesn't sell. Like, we're not the cheapest, because I think a lot of sites are literally selling it at a loss now to get rid of it. Hopefully one day it can perform well. I love Star Wars. I think Star Wars is sick. I know some people play the TCG. It's not like a completely unpopular TCG. From videos I watch online, like Alpha Investments and other people who talk about TCG, I just don't think they're very good at managing the print runs and the hits and all that kind of stuff. So it's not popular at the minute, but as I've mentioned, you just never know. So we've got a few booster boxes lying around, and who knows, in a year, in 2 years, in 6 months, who knows? No one knows what's going to happen to any of this stuff. We'll see. The only reason I've kind of bought it is if we ever have to get over our order limit from distribution, I'll chuck a booster box on or whatever, or I'll chuck some Kirby toys on or something random. I change it every time, but yeah, that's Star Wars Unlimited. I forgot to outro the video. If you do have any questions, leave it in the comments, like, subscribe, and all that bollocks. And yeah, appreciate it. See you in the next one. See you in a bit.